What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Landry Hat channel. I am your host, Zach. You can find me over on my channel at Double Move, where I talk more Cowboys. But this season, I have taken over the Landry Hat YouTube channel powered by FanSided. Once again, thank you guys. Thank you so much to FanSided and the guys over there for entrusting me to make content for this channel and talk more Cowboys football. And like we do almost every single week here on the Landry Hat, I wanted to look at an article on the LandryHat.com titled, "Cowboys fans are asking one question about the defense no one wants to answer." And you guys can read these articles over at the LandryHat.com. It'll be linked down below in the description. They have opinion pieces, breaking news, rumors, all of that. It'll keep you up to date on your Cowboys news. I love their opinion pieces and some of the topics that they talk about, and that's why I enjoy talking about them in these videos. So this one today, the question that no one wants to answer about this defense. They go on the road to Las Vegas in a must-win game. Every game from here on out is a must-win for Dallas. They're going to have to win out if they want to guarantee themselves a playoff spot. And even then, that might just not be good enough. But you go in to Monday Night Football, get a big win, 33-16. It wasn't really close. Dallas controlled the entire game. It was out of hand by the second quarter, and it's coming off a ton of moves defensively. Like, this is the performance that gets fans excited because you see all these changes on defense, and then they go and play the Raiders and pretty much shut down their offense. There was a late score that made it look a little bit better than it was. The offense puts up 33 points in 16. But as the author of this article, Jeff, says, the Cowboys D had a lot of new faces that were new to town or got healthy over the bye week, and it looked like a completely different unit. Still, many fans are not completely sold on whether this bunch is capable of matching the same type of stinginess moving forward. And I agree. I think that's the concern. They played a Raiders offense, a Raiders team that wasn't very good. I do want to say the Raiders defense hasn't been completely awful this season. They held a Broncos team that Dallas let Bo Nix look like an all-pro, Hall of Fame, Pro Bowl type quarterback. They held him to 10 points. They ended up losing that game 10-7, but on the offensive side of the ball, the Raiders are not good. So when your defense beats up on an offense like that, a lot of people aren't going to be impressed, even Cowboys fans, and rightfully so. You didn't go out there and completely shut down a Lions offense or the Chiefs or somebody like that, where people are now like, oh, okay, like those changes actually made a difference. I think most people are kind of in the realm of, we're so upset about what we've seen for the first half of the season that this defense just isn't going to change. And I don't think that's the case, actually. I think they made so many additions that people are kind of underestimating how many guys won't have to be out there on the field or how much talent they've had injected in the defensive side of the ball. With Quinnen Williams, all-pro, Pro Bowl type player, really made a difference against the Raiders on the interior. Then they traded for Logan Wilson, who didn't make as much of an impact. But it's the guys they got back from injury with Savon Ravel. Kalen Carson played in just his second game. Malik Hooker is back. Donovan Wilson. I think I mentioned Marvion Overshown already. And then Quinnen Williams, guys coming along like Donovan Ezaraku and Jadeveon Clowney's playing better. Like, I just don't think that this is the same defense that we've seen over the first half of the season. There's too much talent on the field right now compared to what we were seeing for the first couple of weeks. Kaiir Elam isn't going to have to play as many snaps. Bridges, who played against the Broncos and got beat 2 or 3 times for a touchdown, wasn't even active for this game. So it kind of tells you they're getting guys back healthy. They added a piece in Quinnen Williams, who was as dominant as ever in his first game as a Cowboy, 1.5 sacks. And I think the defense is much different than people kind of think. Usually when you get to this part of the season, if the defense is that bad, you're probably not going to make that many moves that really change anything. Dallas is ranked in the bottom 3, bottom 5 of the league defensively all season long. But when you start putting these pieces together with Revel playing 18 snaps, he's only going to continue to play more. He looked good. 3rd-round pick coming off that ACL injury. Kalen Carson, who was a 5th-round pick last year, he's a really good zone corner. Click and close, get downhill. He has a good feel for zone coverage. They're not asking him to man up a whole lot. We saw what this team looked like without Malik Hooker. They don't have an undrafted free agent safety back there in Elijah Clark or Wanye Thomas, who was also an undrafted guy. Donovan Wilson, for all the flaws that he has in coverage, he helps your run game. DeMarvion Overshown is going to take the pressure off of certain guys. Maybe Kenneth Murray doesn't have to play as much, or Maris Leofau, and then Logan Wilson can kind of rotate in there. Quinnen Williams upgrades that defensive tackle room immensely. Kenny Clark can now play at the 3, his natural position at the 3, and he's much better for it. Donovan Ezeraku's coming along. Jadeveon Clowney continues to get better and better. These pieces really start adding up. If it was just Quinnen Williams, and that was the only thing that really changed from the Cardinals game into this Raiders game, I would put more emphasis on the Raiders are just a bad offense. And that's true even with getting those pieces back. But we got to remember, guys, this defense was one of, if not the worst in the entire league. They were on pace to give up more points, more yards, more everything than any Cowboys defense we've seen in the team's history. That's how bad they were. I'm not going to put all of my stock in this game and say, okay, the Cowboys just went from 32-1. I'm not that crazy. I've also been saying all year long that they don't have to be a top 5 defense or a top 10 defense or maybe even a top 15. They just couldn't be in the bottom 3 of the league, in the bottom 5 in most statistical categories. They just need to be average. I'm starting to think, even against the Raiders, that they have a real chance of doing that. You have one of, if not the best defensive tackle room in the NFL. You still have some issues at linebacker. I don't love what I've seen there, although Overshown will only get healthier and play better as the season goes on. Kaiir Elam's not getting as many snaps. Kalen Carson has been phenomenal. Honestly, I did not expect that. I'm actually excited about the defense. And this article by Jeff kind of points that out, right? We can get excited about the Raiders game, but also their real test is coming up. I'm not ready to crown this unit and say it's completely changed. I think it will look better. I think they'll be able to actually get stops, but you haven't played the really good offenses yet. And if you would have told me that Dallas made 0 moves, nothing changed, Overshown wasn't back, Revel wasn't back, Elam was going to have to be your outside starting corner, Trayvon Diggs will eventually be back. If you told me nothing changed, then I would say, okay, this is what it is. Except it's not. There's like 6 to 8 different guys on the team, so I'm actually excited. And then the real test is coming up. The Eagles, the Lions, the Chargers, the Chiefs, those are offenses that if Dallas's defense plays well, and with the offense that the Cowboys have, there's a real shot that this team can go on a run. Just be top 15, get some stops. I just think back to that Packers game. The offense puts up 40 at home. Green Bay's on the road at AT&T Stadium, and you still don't win that game. It ends in a tie. I don't really see that happening now with Williams and Overshown and all of those guys. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I'm not ready to crown this unit completely and say it's completely changed. It's a top 5 group now, but I do think it will look better as the season goes on, and the real test is coming up really soon. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the Landry Hat channel. We're over 3,000 subscribers already. I really appreciate you guys. I'm so happy that you enjoy the videos, and I'll talk to you next time.